medium-sized moons. There's 12 of these. Basically, they're 200 to 800 kilometers across in radius, so double that to get the diameter. Most of these are either rock or ice water. And just like the Jupiter-Galileo moons, they have circular orbits. However, these guys are mainly tidally locked, which means that they present the same face to the planet at all times, just like our moon does. And what do they look like? Heavily cratered, so that indicates they might be old, and there's not much geologic activity. Alright, so this is a table of all of the medium-sized moons. You can see they're basically Saturn, Uranus, and one from Neptune. The orbital period kind of gives you it in Earth days, so you can compare the radius. The mass is given with regards to our moon, so you can compare. So if you look at this, the biggest one is about 5% of our moon. Uranus and Titania, about 5%. And then it also gives you density. So again, Saturn has 6, Uranus has 5, and Neptune has 1. These are pictures of Saturn's on the top and Uranus on the bottom. And you can see they mostly look dark, kind of gray. A couple of them that are a little bit brighter. So we're going to start with Saturn's moons. Now it has Earth's moons for comparison size there. But one is kind of bright. Tethys is kind of bright, but the other ones are darkish. Alright, so Rhea and Dione, we have a light wispy terrain. We think possibly there's some water involved in these moons. And the neat thing about these is there's ice cliffs. Now, it's not from like erosion or ice breaking apart. We actually think it's tectonic fractures. And so the inside is a icy interior, and it cooled and it cracked and created this fracture in the moons that then you have ice cliffs. So if you're into rock climbing in the cold, this would be the place to go. So Dione also has icy volcanism. So just like our moon has the mares, they have the same thing, except it's ice rather than basalt, which is crazy. Now, Mimas is one of my favorites. If you're a sci-fi movie person, you might like this one too. It has a very large impact crater, largest relative to its size. They think that this impact almost shattered the moon completely. Thankfully it didn't, and so we get something that looks like the Death Star. Tethys has a bunch of cracks on it, possibly some volcanics, possibly some impact-created craters, maybe a mixture of both. Alright, Iapetus. Just take a look at the picture for a minute. I know I didn't show the whole moon here, but just look at that. Doesn't that look like a sea monster or something? You're like, here's the Loch Ness Monster, we found it! No, it's actually just a moon from Saturn. It's got this big ridge, and then these bumps, which are obviously craters. So this moon has one hemisphere that's bright, one hemisphere that's dark. And this big giant ridge, 20 kilometers tall, goes halfway around the moon and is 1,400 kilometers long. They have no idea it's there. No explanation. Kind of interesting. Enceladus. They actually think there's geologic activity on here, so not many impact craters. Not many impact craters. The ones that should have been there are covered by water or ice lava. It's the brightest of the moons. It actually reflects 100% to suggesting that there's like a ice surface or something, that they think that there's ice crystals. So how does it get ice crystals? Well, imagine a volcano that shoots out ice and water, and the volcanic ash is actually made from ice crystals. So they think they've got this layer on the surface, or just above the surface maybe, that is ice ash from volcanoes. They also think that it does have a little bit of an atmosphere made up purely of water, which is incredible. So there's this moon covered in ice from volcanoes that are spewing out ash in the form of ice. And so it's causing the reflection.